Hi guys, it's Christina from Blossom and Root. Today's reader Q&A comes from somebody who wants to know which volume of our early years curriculum would be the best for their child. And I have to tell you, this is by far the most common question I get in any emails that I get from any readers. I get a lot of questions from people who have children in the early years age bracket, age 2 to age 6, that don't know which volume is the best fit for their child when they're starting out with Blossom and Root. And I think the reason that this question is so common with our early years curriculum is because this is often the first time somebody is starting out homeschooling with their child, and especially if you weren't homeschooled yourself, it can be really hard to shake the mentality of you go to a certain level at a certain age as you move through school, because that's what the traditional school system does. It moves you up in your class based on your age, no matter what, for most circumstances, no matter what your abilities are. But that's just not the case when it comes to homeschooling. And so the answer I almost always give to the parent, regardless of the age of their child, is that if their child is not actively showing interest in letters and letter sounds yet, do volume 1 first. If your child is already showing avid interest in letters and letter sounds, start with volume 2. And that is the case no matter what your age of your child is. If your child is 2 years old or 3 years old and they're like chomping at the bit to learn their letters and letter sounds, really interested in learning those themselves, not you the parent, but them, then volume 2 is the best fit. If they are not interested in sitting down to do any kind of structured lessons, and they're definitely not interested in their letters and letter sounds yet, hold off and do volume 1 first. There is no reason why you should feel pressured to start and end volume 2 by a certain age. I have a lot of parents who do volume 2 with 5 and 6 year olds, and that is perfect. That's a great fit. In fact, I'm doing volume 2 right now with my about to be 5 tomorrow year old, and it's a great fit for her. It took a while for her to show an interest in letters and letter sounds, whereas with my oldest child, she was ready by the end of age 3 before she even turned 4. She wanted to know all the letters and letter sounds, and she was ready. So I started volume 2 with her when she was 4, but I didn't with my second child. She just wasn't ready. And that's the barometer you've got to use. You've got to use your child's individual interest, their curiosity with academic topics like reading, and their ability to sit still and focus on something. And our lessons are really relaxed. They probably take 10 minutes max most of the time, but your child still has to want to be there and be present and active in what you're doing. So if they're not there yet, don't feel pressured to go ahead and start volume 2 and march through it. And even if you've decided to start volume 2, don't feel like you have to complete each week's worth of thing on a weekly basis. You can take your time. If your child is really stuck on a particular letter, take a week off and come back to it, or take a week to extend it and do fun activities around that letter. There's no reason why you should feel like you have to complete X amount of weeks of curriculum in X amount of time. You just don't. Those rules do not apply to homeschool. So go ahead and let them go. So that's the number 1 answer I give. Do it based on the interest and the maturity level of your child. Are they ready to start really sitting down and learning their letter sounds and their letters, or are they not? That's really the simplest answer for that question. But if you have a special circumstance, or if you're just still not quite sure which one is the best fit, you can always email me at christina@blossomandroot.com, and I will be happy to go back and forth with you about your child. I want to know everything I can to help you make that decision, and I'm always happy to help. So do not hesitate to reach out to me if you're still not quite sure which volume is the best fit for your child, or if you don't know if your child is ready to move on to the kindergarten level. There's a lot of different factors that go into making that decision, and I am here for you, so don't hesitate. Thank you so much for asking, and if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in a video, just shoot me an email, christina@blossomandroot.com, and let me know what your question is, and I'll be happy to answer it. Thank you, and have a great day.